So do you want to just share a little bit about your background and what you do and who you help?
Yeah, thanks, Tony. So I help change directors of financial services organisations to be regulatory compliant and deliver complex change.
And what type of financial services organisations are they?
So quite often banks, building societies. I've worked in insurance, wealth management. So across the
whole range. And the focus is on regulatory compliance, you say?
Regulatory compliance and complex change, quite often involving data, applications, and processes.
Oh, interesting. And why did you join the Transformation Leaders Hub?
So I've tried networking groups before, all of them in the before times when it was a physical meetup. They didn't go well, as I already have an accountant. My need for an architect is rather limited. And energy needs and insurance are both met via a meerkat. So there's virtually no intersect on the Venn diagram of our interests.
Yeah.
However, I've always been aware of the power of networking, and that if only I could find a group that gets me, then that would be great. And thanks to COVID, that sort of group now exists.
Yeah, absolutely. So what were you looking to get out of the community when you first joined?
The initial hook for me was the jump into 2021 session that you ran.
Yeah.
So I had a rotten end to 2020, and I'd figured it's exactly the sort of boost I needed to get going. So there I am. I boldly switched on my laptop, joined the call. About a dozen people on the call, and you said, let's do a quick round robin and introduce yourselves. and my heart sank. I tensed up, and I was listening to everyone else say, oh, I've just finished offloading a book of assets across Asia for a global financial company, and I'm thinking, nope, I've not done that. So I know I've done major things, but nothing quite as major as that.
Yeah.
So when it came to my turn, I blurted something out about project and program management, and me being probably the least experienced of everyone on the call, and waiting for somebody to say, well, what are you doing here, kind of thing. And it didn't come. And instead it was all, oh, welcome, Geoff. And you moved on as if it was perfectly okay for me to be there, which of course it is.
Absolutely.
And finally, I found a networking group with whom I could genuinely network.
Yeah, it's interesting actually. So many people say it's the first group that get me, and I don't have to spend the first 10 minutes explaining what I do, because everyone knows what I do, because we're all doing the same similar types of things, and we've got similar types of experience. But equally, the diversity of the people within the group bring different experiences that we can all learn from, irrespective of whether or not you've worked globally or locally, whether you've worked on £100 million plus programs or £1 million plus programs. It doesn't really matter. There's experiences that we can all bring from each activity.
Exactly. What I'm really enjoying as well is, alongside the networking opportunities, is things like the podcasts. Really enjoy listening to those and hearing about how other people deal with change, deal with stakeholders. And even though it's only little anecdotal things here and there, it serves to reinforce what I've found and how I've sort of come about dealing with people. And at the end of the day, change is all about the people, and that's one of the key strengths of TLH.
No, absolutely. I think it is. It's with those podcasts in particular, or anything that we do really. It's the ability of people to be able to just take one or two ideas and try it in the next meeting or the next program that they get involved in, and see if it works for them. Because it's not a one size fits all, is it? It's being able to adapt different styles at the right time with different people, and the more you can learn what's worked and what hasn't worked, and how other people have dealt with these situations, just gives you a little bit more experience, I suppose, to apply for the next time you're involved in stuff.
exactly. Some of the other great things is we obviously the fortnightly networking event.
Mm-hmm.
I followed up on a number of those, had some great conversations. Either come across people who've not worked for many months, shared my experience of how I've gone about turning things around and sort of reinventing how I promote myself. They've found that interesting as well. So on a very local one-to-one level, and equally new doors have opened up for me as well. So I've been very excited with what it's brought.
Brilliant. Well, that's the best news, really, that opportunities have opened up for you, because that's a key aspect of what we're trying to do. The belief that if we network effectively together, if we build the relationships and the collaborations across the group, opportunities will come through. So it's great to hear that, and that's certainly one of the core themes of and the core objectives, shall I say, of what we're trying to do with the community. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much, Geoff. That's great, and thanks again for agreeing to come onto this.
Thank you for asking.
Super.
Cheers.